He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Arkansas City, Kansas, where Arkansas City police say a man accidentally shot himself while drinking on Thursday night. It happened in the 1100 block of South Summit Street around 9:50 p.m. Police and firefighters responded to a shooting report. They found a man who had been shot in the thigh. First responders determined the man was intoxicated and accidentally shot himself with his own gun. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. Incident is under investigation.
Guns and drinking don't mix.
No,
unless
they
they do. Then it's funny.
Unless they do, yeah. I just saw this right before we started recording. Robert Duvall died.
Oh no!
Yeah,
he was still alive.
I know he was 95.
Jesus.
Yeah, he had a good long run.
Let's go. I'm going to go back through his freaking IMDb. Holy shit! he's in like classic movies from the early 60s, late 50s.
Oh yeah, like
Holy
dude was born in
crap.
1931.
Holy shit!
Yeah, his first credit is
To Kill a Mockingbird. How the
what
what
year
the
was that?
1962. Imagine being. Hey, what was your first role?
Oh, I'm seeing credits back to 1960.
Oh, well then the Wikipedia's is in.
Oh yeah, you got to actually go to IMDb. Fuck Wikipedia. That's never right.
Oh,
But yeah, I didn't realize he was Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, and then he was in Bullet with Steve McQueen, True Grit with John Wayne.
Jesus Christ, he was a fucking legend, bigger than I even realized.
Right, he was in The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, which everyone loves but me.
I've never seen it. I want to see it, but I just haven't. I can't commit to it.
I'm surprised you've never mentioned The Natural.
Oh yeah, he was a reporter in The Natural. He was kind of an asshat. He was like a columnist.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. My favorite movie that he's in, it's not. His character's actually kind of fun because he's such a fuddy-duddy and such a dickhead. MASH.
Oh, I love MASH.
MASH, the movie, is greater than MASH, the TV show. I will fight you.
Challenge accepted, because the series is fantastic and the film is fine.
The film is fantastic and the TV show is goofy silliness that actually I did it was on, I think it was on Netflix for a little while once upon a time, and I did watch like a season, and it was actually, the only thing I hated about it was the fucking laugh track. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it wasn't that bad. But I was exposed to the movie first.
Yeah, that I was exposed to the series first. But it also, the series, there's like 4 distinct eras of the series, and because it went on for fucking 13 years or something like that.
It was on a long time.
And so whatever your brand was, you could probably find, like, the later seasons had the like serious drama and stuff like that. But no,
they got all up their own ass.
It like I said, I was when it popped up on my feed, I was just like, holy shit, he was still alive. Well, now he's dead. But my favorite movie that he's in, he's a secondary character, but Thank You for Smoking is one of the best movies that you can watch. It's hilarious.
As far as a character that he plays that I really like, I'm not even gonna apologize for this, but Days of Thunder.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
the
love
Tom
him
Cruise
in Days of
racing
Thunder.
one.
Yeah, that's the NASCAR movie with Tom Cruise. I want you to go hit the pace car. What? Go hit the pace car. Why? Because you've hit everything else. I want you to be perfect. Fucking great lines. He's got so many good lines in that movie.
Fair enough.
The movie we talked about not too long ago, Open Range. Sorry. Open Range.
Yep.
That is a fantastic movie. He's also in Jack Reacher, another Tom Cruise movie, where Tom Cruise plays the character written as a 6'5" behemoth. they just leave all that out when he plays Jack Reacher.
Yep.
But because when I saw Reacher, the TV show, I'd never read any of the books. And I'm like, whoa, that fucker's big. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then, Tom Cruise wanted to do movies with that character, but he wanted to play Jack Reacher. So we'll just overlook the fact that the guy who's 6'5", 250 is now 5'7", $160. Sure.
5'7" in heels.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Secondhand Lions?
Mm-mm.
Robert Duvall has a very fun speech in it that if you're bored looking to have that kind of like internal self-motivation speech, that's the movie that, and if you type in Secondhand Lions speech, boom, it's right there. It's great, but not shooting related.
Yeah, I'm looking back. Deep Impact. Sling Blade. There's a few movies here. I mean, a lot of this I never saw. Oh, he was in Falling Down? I only saw that once, like back in the day.
Yeah, that's a cult classic.
Yeah. Isn't that Michael Douglas?
Yep.
Yeah.
And when he decides he's just going to go on a killing spree.
Oh.
Because fuck it.
Also, Lonesome Dove.
Yeah, I never saw
it, but it was such a big deal when that was on.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember because...
You weren't born yet when that aired.
What? I thought Lonesome
Wait,
Dove...
what year were you born?
92.
Yeah, you weren't born yet.
Oh.
Came out in 89.
I must be thinking of a different... Because there was a... I think he did another Western around when he did Open Range, because that's the one that ended up winning like a bunch of awards that I thought Open Range should have, because Open Range is my favorite Western.
It's so good. Such a good movie.
And it follows the classic Western tropes very closely, but it still does it in a very fun way.
Yeah. No, for sure. R.I.P. Robert Duvall. Oh, Frank Burns. Okay. So Jeff just yesterday got back from Thailand.
Yes.
Where you spent 10 days getting hammered.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There was a lot of alcohol consumed, a lot of Singhai. Well, except for the first day, that was bullshit. Fun fact: the Thais do not allow the sale of alcohol 24 hours before their general elections. So
really,
I found that out the hard way.
So no booze is not allowed anywhere.
Nope. We didn't. So what happened was we got in at like 10 o'clock on Friday. Saturday we like did some shit, and then we both passed out from like 2 to 9. Like the jet lag hit us, and then we got up and like went down the beach to it was actually a burger place, because it was the only thing open at 9:45, 10 o'clock. And I tried to order a drink, and they said no, but I didn't understand what they were like saying, why they were telling me no. So after we got out eating, we went to the 7-Eleven, because 7-Elevens there are everywhere. And they had like rolled down this curtain, and on a little sign it said, we will not be serving alcohol for 24 hours because of the general election.
Weird.
So that was an annoying start. But we drank. I petted a couple tigers. That was cool. That's not a euphemism. I got to swim with elephants. That was awesome.
What? Swim with elephants?
Yeah. So we went to an elephant sanctuary, and unfortunately we saw where they needed to be sanctuaried from. When you go to the developing world, you see things you don't always want to see. And so they let us feed them by hand. That was fun. And then we took them down to their mud bath pit and covered them in mud. And then they went over to their pond to wash it off. And we got into the pond and like scrubbed them down and hung out with them in the pond for a little bit. And then had lunch and went back to the hotel.
Wow.
Yeah. It's funny because they'll sit like dogs when they're in the water.
Really?
It's very adorable, but they also will sometimes just fall over from that position. And so,
you don't want to be near them when they do that?
yeah, of course, the Thais are like, fuck it. We ball. Like, they don't care. But I was like, every time it started moving, I was like, and walk away.
Yeah, I'd be terrified. Your average Asian elephant is around 8,800 pounds.
Yeah.
It's just like 4.5 tons. That's all. They can weigh up to 14,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But the tiger got my heart racing a little bit more. I'm not sure I have any adrenaline left, but so we got to pet and like before anyone comes at me, I understand how unethical this stuff is. But I got to pet a newborn tiger, like it was like a month old, and then there were 2 1-year-old tigers that we got to pet. One of them had only been like in that cage for 3 months, and so it was a little rambunctious, and that made my butt pucker. Mm-hmm. And then we went to the 4-year-old pen, and one of them was just like sunbathing, chilling, like didn't give a shit. The other one, so they had a cage within a cage within a cage, and so the final cage is basically where they keep them at night or when they need to separate them or whatever. And so this tiger was like laying on the table on its back like a cat does. Like it's just a giant cat.
Yeah.
And we were waiting with that other tiger that I mentioned just chilling behind us. Like no one watching him. He just chilling. And then the 4 Asian women that were in the thing left the little cage, and we went into the little cage with one of the handlers and the cat, and I started petting it, and it sneezed, and I've never moved as fast in my entire fucking life. It was like I was in like mid run, but the trainer like stopped me because it was like, hey,
don't run. It
right.
likes things that run.
Yeah.
It likes to chase them.
Right. It was
You're
like
making yourself a target.
Right. And he's like, just chill. We good, homie. And I was like, okay. And so I went back to petting the 4-year-old tiger.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't.
I couldn't pass up the opportunity, but
I did pet. When I was at the radio station, they brought in like a baby tiger, a little kitten.
Yep.
One time, their fur is like steel wool.
Uh-huh.
But it was such a baby, like its teeth were tiny. Like this thing is completely incapable of really injuring you at all. But I just kept thinking the whole time it's there, I'm like, in a year it could fucking kill me in a second.
Correct.
Like, wow. Nature's wild.
Yep. And so it was definitely an experience. Unfortunately, I didn't see any ladyboys.
That's what I want. That's what everybody's here to listen about.
I know. So there's 2 sides to it. One, I was in like the nice touristy area, and so they kept it clean. And when I did go to the shitty area, I apparently wasn't there long enough to see anything. But the other side is, and someone explained this to me, the reason there's so many ladyboys in Thailand is because it was illegal to be gay, but it was not illegal to be trans. And so the gays would just transition so they could be gay.
Oh.
And when they legalized being gay, now there's less ladyboys because they don't need to be ladyboys anymore. So it was it was one of those, never even thought about that. That weirdly makes sense, but no, other than that, I saw a bunch of fights. I avoided most of the chaos of anything. Thailand, I believe, is still at war with its neighbor. They're throwing like missiles and rockets at each other, but that's way up north and I was way south. And apparently there was election kerfuffle. I did not see anything. They kept in Thai, foreigners are called Farangs. They kept the Farang area very clear of any bullshit. So what was funny is I didn't even really see cops that often. Like they just said, fuck it. Because
I just looked up what the police carry for guns in Thailand. I just Googled what guns do Thai police use.
Yep.
The Royal Thai Police primary handguns include the 9mm Sig Sauer P320, and then in parentheses, often purchased through a welfare program.
Huh.
And then there's an article when I Googled that from 2017 that said, this is fucking great. The photo at the top is of a P320, and it says a total of 55,150 new handguns are being distributed to officers in police stations nationwide to help compensate for a shortage of arms and help deter violent crime. And the Royal Thai the Royal Thai Police Sport Club, at which the newly purchased Sig Sauer P320 SP semi-automatic handguns were handed over to 22 police agencies to be distributed to every police station for use by officers. 55,000.
I only saw Glockenspiels, but I also
that was
only
the
saw
second gun listed in the Google search. But
I only saw like 4 cops in the 10 days I was there. So that tells you how prevalent police are. It's also a culture that is very okay with physical violence.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of hilarious videos because my Facebook feed transitioned to Thai. And
sure.
So
like it changed languages?
No, it still recognizes that I wanted it in English, but it was for anyone who uses Facebook on mobile app, which I really need to stop doing. There's the modern homepage basically just pulls random fucking shit and throws it to you. And so I was getting a lot of like Thai based stuff, and it was a lot of foreigners getting their asses kicked. There was several like ladyboys beating the shit out of people that were not paying their bills and stuff like that. One guy decided he was going to stiff his delivery driver, and the delivery driver turned out to be like a former Muay Thai fighter, and he head kicked him. It was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not guns that makes everyone like polite. It's the ability to head kick.
Sure. I don't have much of an ability to head kick. Not at all. We are going to talk about shooting, though, in this episode. Lots and lots to talk about, because I actually went to the range today. But before we get to that, patreon.com/notanothershooting show. It's only $3.57 a month, and you will get all of the second episode every single week. r/NASS. Dan's got the Blue Bullets buy going on there. He's a guy from my town where Blue Bullets like kind of shut down for a while because they were retooling a bunch of stuff or whatever, and so they're rolling again, and he's got a group buy going. It's pinned on the NAS Reddit if you want to go check that out and all the other fun stuff. MW Activewear, the finest jerseys you can get for your match anywhere, and free logos on top of it. Adam Grimm is going to be at my club April 24th and 25th and shooting a match at a different club near me on the 26th. If you are interested in taking that class with Adam Grimm, get a hold of me. Northwoods, May 2nd and 3rd, up at Forest Lake, Minnesota. They got the cash payouts up there. PCSL Belt Championship, May 17th at the Mission 160 range. Great Plains section, June 6-7. Registration is now open. I just deleted 4 that were withdrawals that I withdrew, and so there's another 4 slots open. Cornhusker Classic, it's pretty much sold out, but there's some space left on Saturday, June 27th and 28th. And Rushmore State Championship, July 11th and 12th. Registration is also open. Boom. So we're recording this on President's Day. And when it's 65 in South Dakota on President's Day, you go to the range. At least if you work for the state government and it's a holiday for you. So I took my son to the range this afternoon, and we had a ball of a time. Finally actually sighted in my M1 and shot it. We had only ever fired the 2 clips that we shot on a super cold day on Christmas and hadn't shot it since. And got that sighted in, and I was having a little bit of trouble because I thought the windage and elevation was 1 MOA adjustments. Apparently, the windage is a half MOA adjustment. because they were just not moving left. And for everybody who thinks, I like a really small dot, like a 2 MOA dot for my pistol because I can aim better. Well, I have 49-year-old eyes, and I was regularly putting 30 caliber bullets within a couple of inches of each other with iron sights at 100 yards. So, fuck your 2 MOA dot. Once we got it sighted in, though, we were, both me and my son, we're just clanging steel out to 200 yards. Easy peasy. He was able to shoot it a little better at the, there was like a rabbit-shaped target at 100 yards, steel, and he's just smoking that thing. And it wasn't painted, so I couldn't hardly see it. You know, it's like gray on a shadow-covered berm.
Yeah.
And I could not see it well enough to actually hit it. But that brightly painted AC zone at 200 yards, that's my huckleberry. It was super fun. We shot a couple of boxes of ammo, got it all sighted in. I love shooting that thing so much. It's so much fun.
Did you have to do the gas port change, or do you just use the right ammo?
I'm just using ammo that works for it. Like I bought 5 boxes of S&B M1 Garand 30-06.
Yep.
And I did more reading on it, and even like the literature that comes with your CMP M1, it basically says if you shoot 150 grain bullets, even if they're modern ammo, it's fine. You know, maybe stay away from something like Superformance, you know, like a real progressive burning powder. But if you're shooting 150 grain ammo, it's going to be fine. So it isn't
That's good.
super dupe. It isn't, I guess, as big a deal. Especially how far out it's tapping the barrel way the fuck out there on a 24-inch barrel. So the dwell time is not terribly wrong to get that piston running. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And then I shot more iron sights. My Glock 34.
What are you becoming, Austin?
No, I'm shooting production for the first part of the year. Remember? Side quest.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Jeez, how drunk were you the last time we recorded? I was talking about it even.
Well, I also remember it from your conversation with Steven and Austin's post about being sad.
There's actually 2 more people shooting production now at Great Plains. Well, we're up to 13 now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You're almost big enough to matter. I mean, you're not, but you're almost big enough to matter.
Big enough for 3 plaques.
Ooh.
And, I mean, if Brody stays in it, he'll be winning that, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously.
The one GM. But Steven thought he might not be shooting it by the time it rolls around. So, I mean, then it'll be kind of fun to see. Otherwise, it's like, who's going to finish second? But, so.
What will you do when you lose to Austin?
I won't lose to Austin. I'm not real worried about that. He made master in a division with no data. So
you're saying there's a chance.
So I'm saying, I don't know. I haven't seen. It depends on how many. It's the match I'm a match director for. So maybe he will beat me because I won't.
Right.
Really, yeah, I hadn't thought about that part of it. But
it's the little things.
So I practiced today. I just set up like a little, like, shoot a few things, move like 4 yards, shoot a few things, you know. And one thing I did also before I started shooting, because I kind of confirmed to see if it was zeroed, but it was dark, and I just made a quick run out to the range to drop off some other shit and shot it. I was hitting the plate at 25 yards, like the big 10-inch plate, but I didn't actually know what it was grouping like. And it looks like my group is just a little left. The weird thing was it was like grouping, like bullets are grouping up like about 4 inches apart from each other, you know? But like the average of the group was just a little bit left. Everything was actually just a little left except for 1 or 2 bullets. Which
is weird because you're left-handed. So shouldn't they be to the right?
Well, if it was induced by me, yes, but they're iron sights I just installed, so like I'm using a caliper to like measure, is the rear sight centered? You know.
So it's still your fault, just in a different way.
Just in it. Well, I mean, I'm guessing, you know, I didn't bring the sight pusher tool to the range with me, so I basically was measuring, and it was within like a 10,000th or 10,000th. Is that the third one? Tenths, hundreds, thousands. Yeah, 10,000th. I mean, it was as close as I could get in that fine of adjustment. So, it's shooting just a little bit left. I just need to adjust the rear sight a little. Here's what I found out is I tend to shoot a little low. And not just low like I'm pulling the gun down when I'm pulling the trigger. It's not a pulling the trigger thing. It's a vision thing. So when I've been practicing, I'm using the glasses I'm wearing right now so I can see a computer. Like the entire lens is my bifocal prescription because I'm fucking old. And so I can still, even at 25 yards, like I can still see the targets well enough with that big 1.5 magnification that it's not a problem. Like I'm still hitting the A zone. It's obviously not as precise as it would be with a dot and my distant prescription, but I'm still right in the middle of the target pretty much. But I had like a stacked target with a no shoot in the middle. And then basically a head box was all I had. And that was like my close target. So I'm like transitioning to kind of a tight shot, but an aggressive tight shot because it's kind of close, like 5 yards. And I'm aiming every time for the middle of that head box, and I am shooting a ragged hole about 1.5 to 2 inches below where I'm aiming. And I'm just trying to go fast, kind of like as fast as I can, as fast as I can see, like when I'm shooting with a dot. And if I get a sight picture and then I just rip 2 shots, those tend to be the best grouping pairs. It's when I sort of like go bang, bang on a more distant target, it tends to be more all over the place. But no, I'm like just low. And what I think I figured out is because my glasses allow me to see everything up close, in the front and rear sight. Yeah. When I see that super bright blown out fiber optic in the center of the rear, I'm just centering it in the rear. I'm not, I'm not like making sure it's equal height, equal light. What I'm looking for is incorrect. It's just a little low.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel that iron sights aren't that precise for it to be that big of a deal. I guess because I always use a front fiber optic and blacked out rear, and I kind of just remember, there's the red inside the square, go.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm it's okay. But when I was aiming at the tight target, everything is just low, and I'm like, okay. Now I'm really going to look hard at the front sight and try to ignore, because that little bit of black above the fiber optic, apparently it matters when you're aiming. If that is not equal height with the rear, you're going to be a little low.
Huh.
And all of my targets, like there was nothing above the A zone. Not one hit above the A zone in all these runs I did. Like on a regular USPSA target.
Yeah.
Not one of my screw-ups was higher than the top of the A zone.
That is impressive.
Yeah. Everything would be low, though. I was getting down to the bottom of the Charlie zone, and I wasn't, I like, the farthest target, I think, was like 10, 12 yards. Like, I wasn't doing anything super hard. It's basically first live fire practice of the year. And it was just sort of interesting to see, like, that's how my brain, after doing dot for the last 5 years, or actually 6 seasons worth of shooting, I treat the fiber optic like a dot.
Yeah.
Which to some degree is good, but I really need to take a Sharpie to the top of that thing and just dull it out a little bit, because I'm really treating it like a dot now. But it was fun. It was fun. And we did also bring your PCC to the range because my son found it in the safe, and he's like, "Hey, I haven't shot this yet." I'm like, "Well, bring it along." And so now
my gun that you've had for a year has finally been shot.
I did shoot it one other time, but I didn't go when he didn't come with me to the range. But he has officially fired more rounds through it now than I have.
Jesus.
And he was having a ball with it. He was having a good time. Just clanging away at steel, having a ball. I was like, "Shoots pretty good, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, it does. It's fun." Yeah. So that got shot. Boom. Another thing I did at the range today was I had worked up a new load for my 10mm because I had bought some extreme bullets at Shields, some 40 caliber bullets to load into that for my 10mm, and I was looking at their load data. Actually, Extreme Bullets has some load data. It's like here's our sweet spot load for these bullets and these weights, and one of them was 7.1 grains of tight group. Huh.
Okay. That's for 10mm. What grain bullet?
180.
Okay. I mean,
that case was less than half full with 7 grains of tight group in it.
Right.
It looked weird.
Right. My brain, I guess my brain doesn't understand the math because, we shoot 147s under with 3.1 of tight group. So, like, I find that, almost double for just a little more weight.
But a lot more case capacity.
Right.
And it isn't necessarily the weight of the bullet as it is the capacity of the case. And that's why a lot of times the powder, that's why tight group is sort of weird because it is a really, lots of juice for low weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
like my CFE pistol load that's in my 9mm I was shooting today, which by the way is way snappier than all the tight group loads I've shot over the last 5 years. And once I got going with it, like, didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, that slide is closing quick, and I kind of like it. It's still 9mm.
Right.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that you just want to stack it deep.
Yeah. But so I posted the picture on the Reddit. Okay. So go to the Reddit. Have you seen the photo?
I saw the photo, and I didn't really understand what was going on because it's fucking weird. Like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, there's a shot in the head box. Cool. and when you said, because for those who are not on the Reddit, it's called Guess How Many Rounds Fired Testing the 10mm Load. And so I thought it was going to be like, oh, one shot to the head, we're done. And I was just confused why the white paster was there. I see 4.
Uh-huh. And that one that's on the target above it might be one, but I don't think so.
Okay. And how many did you fire for this group?
11.
Oh, Jesus. It's okay. So again, for those who are not looking at this, we have one alpha in the head.
Uh-huh.
We have one alpha on the bottom of the alpha, just barely.
The big alpha.
Big
zone,
alpha.
Lower alpha zone. Yep.
We have a far right Charlie and a very far left Delta.
Uh-huh. Now, I shot
7 missing shots.
I shot these 11 rounds rested at about 20 yards.
So you're blaming the equipment.
I am very confident this is an equipment problem of some type. This is not a me thing. Because I was shooting it just standing, and I was only at about 10 yards, and I'm shooting at like one of those stick and whatever splatter targets that I got those so I'd have like a bullseye to sight in the M1. And I was shooting at that, and the bullets are all over the place in that 8-inch circle. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I actually noticed it the other night because I was just when I made that same trip out to see if my Glock was functioning, I also just ran one mag through that, and I was just shooting the plate at 20 yards, and I'm seeing dirt impacts that are way off. Like, way off compared to what I saw when the dot lifted. Right. Now, it's one of two things. Okay, it's the tight group load sucks ass with the Extreme bullets, and granted it's mixed brass, but still, I've shot lots of mixed brass.
I don't believe in the mixed brass theory.
I think it can, because there is different case capacities. It can affect things. It can. But I could not believe how bad this was. Like 4 out of 11 are on a USPSA target at 20 yards.
Right. And as a masterclass shooter,
Rested.
Right. I would expect, as a masterclass shooter, I would expect like single hand only that there should be 11 shots within the Charlie zone at 20 yards, let alone rested with 7 missing.
Yeah. Now, it's either the load, which I think it's probably the load, or it's the dot.
Yeah, or the dot is completely fucked. But I feel like you would have, I feel like you would have noticed it, because one of the things my buddy Nolan has the Shadow 2 that I just couldn't connect with, and he told me that the dot was not as ratcheted down as it should have been, and like I knew something was wrong with it, but I couldn't figure out what, and like I thought I had checked that, but like when you've done this as much as we have, you kind of know when something's fucking up. And if you're, I personally don't think it's a dot. I think there's something about either the bullet in the rifling or the velocity from the cartridge. Cause like going back to Nolan, he reloaded a bunch of 223 and then shot it through his Tavor, and they tumbled out of it at the Iowa rifle match. And it was something weird about the length of loading, or again, that gets into the type of autism that I'm not a part of, so I don't really understand that shit. But I guarantee you that someone is going to listen to this and be like, oh, you did this, this, and this, and that means that it did this, and blah, 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 blah. And you'll be like, oh, okay, I'll do this like 0.01 fix of something and it'll be fine. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, that rifling doesn't agree with that bullet profile, so switch bullets.
Yeah, I don't know what it'll be, or maybe that, I mean, the powder, this is from Extreme's load data, so it isn't the powder bullet, like could it be like the crimp is too aggressive or something? I have no idea. Or it could just be that load no like my Glock, maybe. But anyway. Okay. What no one knows just happened was I hit pause because Jeff had typed into the rundown, need to poop after this topic.
Correct.
And so I went to go get a snack while Jeff was pooping, thinking I had a few minutes, and I get back. And, I already hear Jeff breathing into the microphone. You're back already? And, yeah, he was back already because...
American fast food isn't agreeing with my tummy.
After 10 days in Thailand. Was the food like... What was the food like? I mean, were you eating like mostly like restaurant food? Is it sort of like heavy and oil and fat and whatnot, like American restaurant food?
So, we ate a lot of 7-Eleven food, and we drank a lot of beer, and all the restaurants in the area I was in are for tourists, and so they had American dishes, European dishes, they had pastas and shit like that. So I tried my best to eat a lot of Thai food, and Thai food's good. I've learned that I liked it, but I ate burgers and kind of the normal stuff, but they just like... I'm not someone who agrees with the modern, like, all American food is bad, blah, blah, blah. But other countries' food does hit differently. I will acknowledge that.
Oh, yeah.
And so American food hits the tummy a little harder.
I am going to my niece's wedding this coming weekend, which is in extremely northern Alabama, like a half hour from Chattanooga. And then just because of when you live in a small town like I do, a small city like Sioux Falls, you have a lot of, we don't have an international airport. We have a regional airport, and then we've got Allegiant that flies to like Vegas and Phoenix and like 3 different places in Florida, and also Nashville. So we're flying to Nashville because the timing worked out so much better for us to have a good time. We leave Friday at 7 o'clock. We're just going to stay right outside of Nashville Friday night, go to my niece's wedding Saturday, hang out, do all that stuff, probably have breakfast with my mom, some other family on Sunday morning, and then we're going back to Nashville. And then we're going to do downtown Nashville. We're going to go see some live music. I'm going to get white girl wasted, take an Uber back to the hotel, all that stuff, then do the Country Music Hall of Fame the next day. But the thing, I actually had a doctor's appointment today, and my doctor actually said, have you ever had the spicy chicken down there, or hot chicken, whatever they call it? And I'm like, huh? I didn't know this was a thing. Like,
this is something they're known for?
I guess so, yeah. And Hattie B's is a place, I guess, that has got like the best, at least in his opinion, the best hot chicken in Nashville. So, and it's not like buffalo wing hot chicken. It's like totally different. I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it though.
Yeah, that was one of the Thai things, is that I didn't do Thai spicy because even spicy liking people warn you against Thai spicy. Mm-hmm. They have a much, even the things I ordered non-spicy sometimes came out spicy.
Yeah, like molten metal.
Yes,
like even if it's not that hot, it's still really fucking hot. So you live in a city that has Hy-Vee.
Correct.
So Hy-Vee has a product called Thai sweet chili sauce.
Okay.
I don't know how Thai it is, but it's fucking awesome. It's so good. It's very, very sweet. Very sweet. I love putting it on like anything Asian. I'll like rice and pot stickers. I'll boil up some rice and the Ling Ling pot stickers from Costco. Yeah. And I'll just cover it in Thai sweet chili sauce from Hy-Vee. It's fucking so good.
Oh yeah.
So
I've learned to really like Thai food, but it is just a lot of stir fries and curries and stuff like that, and they rely a lot on the spices that my albino white ass is not prepared to deal with, and so I don't. But drunken noodles and pad thai, fantastic.
Drunken noodles and pad thai?
Yep.
What's a drunken noodle?
Let me see here.
I'm just gonna Google it. Drunken noodles. Oh, that's a thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, versus pad thai.
Pad Thai Mao. It's basically it's more of like a noodle base.
Spicy and savory. That looks like that looks like goulash that is gonna completely smoke my Swedish ass.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time, but
it looks good though.
Yeah.
Get rid of the broccoli. I'm all over it.
How do you know? Yeah.
How do I not like broccoli? Because the theory is my mom was obsessed with it when she was pregnant with me, and I fucking hate it. Like she ate it all the time.
I hate broccoli, but I think that's my autism. I don't like the textures.
Well, it's that, and it smells like baby vomit is when it's cooking. That's my big problem with it. Like I don't like eating food that smells like vomit. So
fair.
Yeah. All right. So I don't think I ever told Kian we were going to do this. I don't think I told him that we discussed his whole video in our little group chat on Instagram with a bunch of us. But we did, Kian. I don't think you'll care. So he sent me a video he was shooting an indoor match up in North Dakota.
Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah. And it's so the stage, at least the very, very short amount of what we saw in this video that's only like 8 seconds long. So there's a wall at about a 20, 30 degree angle. Okay. And then it goes over to the left, and then at the left edge, the fault line comes back, squares off, goes to the right in the back corner of the stage. There's hands-on marks in about the middle of that wall. And so he would then, as a right-handed shooter, run to his left, draw and shoot targets around that wall. So now, as far as the call goes, he got DQ'd. Like, as soon as he drew, he gets DQ'd. I didn't get a lot of specifics about it. The guy who called the DQ may have been confused and thought 10-5-16 was still a rule. It's not. Literally, the muzzle is the only thing that can DQ you, and it would have to be more than 3 yards, because 10-5-6 is also a rule that influences that. And pretty much everybody else there was like, he didn't DQ, I guess is what happened. I wasn't there. But so his DQ got overturned by basically everybody else saying that wasn't a DQ. But I posted it in our little group chat I just posted it with nothing else. And then like a day later I came back, I'm like, oh, Jesus, you guys went nuts on this. And most of the discussion was about gaming start positions and how it will fuck you.
Yes.
And so your opinion on gaming a start position, Jeff?
I think that in general, gaming a start position is dumb, and it will negatively affect your stage and your stage outcome.
Or a match, if you DQ yourself.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. So the normally when we see a game, when you're trying to game the start position, and we've all done it, especially when you're new, you're like, ooh, no one thought about doing this, and they're like, no, we all thought about it, and we all went, that's dumb. The biggest thing is not even safety related. It's you tend to put yourself out of a position that you would naturally draw from. So you have like the mind-body connection of wherever you're used to keeping your hand, whether that's isn't it Adam Grimm that has his arm like basically cocked under the fucking gun? And it's like, well, it's wrist below belt. Or like for me, I just let my hand rest fairly naturally at my side. So if I'm starting, hands on wall, my arm's already out of position. If I've shifted my body to try to game this, then my hand is going to a position it's not used to going to, and I have a greater opportunity to fuck up the draw. I'm not saying that you're gonna fuck up every draw, but it creates more complications that could fuck up said draw. And so I find that the gaming of the start position is a very weak maneuver that tends to cost you more than it gains.
Now, as far as Kian's start position, basically he was on this wall that's already angled to the left, and he's got to have his hands on the start position. He wasn't really gaming it in a super dumb way other than his body orientation, like the direction his body was pointed. He was already very, very left as a righty.
Yep.
And if there's as a lefty, this is a thing. Learn something from a lefty, you fucking righties. We're used to weird shit because all you right-handed stage designers make everything, well, we're going to move to the right when we get done with this. Yeah, and I'm going to have to move to my weak side. So we're used to doing things very deliberately so that we don't get DQ'd. Okay?
Yes.
I remember there was a stage at Area 3. It was one of Sherwin's Area 3s, not the last one, but there was a very, 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 very hard right target. Very hard right target. And for a lefty, like, my gun is going to be a little bit further downrange than a righty's gun. Just because I'm holding it in my left hand. Not a lot. I mean, we're talking inches, maybe.
Yep.
But still, like, as I'm holding it out there, I'm like, God, this looks bad. And so I asked the RO, like, if I stand like this and shoot my gun, are you going to DQ me? And he said, no. I said, okay, cool. And so then I ran the stage that way, and it was fine. But, like, whenever there's, like, a retreat and I need to turn to my right, I take one step straight back and draw, and then I turn. I never turn while I'm taking my first step because it's fucking stupid. You're going to get DQ'd.
Yep.
Or you can get DQ'd.
But the classic turn, then draw. Yeah, it's a very big, like, thinking about muzzle position is a very important thing. And I would say that, like, Kian actually did think about it in his video, from what I can tell, because he actually left it holstered as he was moving. And the way it looked to me is once he was getting into position is when he started to draw. Is it? Am I misreading that?
I don't know. Let me go back and look at it.
Because if that's what he did, I may have talked a lot of shit.
I don't know. I got to scroll through a lot of text. God, we went back and forth a lot last night. So he's basically, it's hard to say what angle he's really pointed at. Sort of 45 degree to his left.
Yep.
As a righty. Oh, then he moves up and gets more off to the right to move. So he's basically further down range and it causing him to turn his body more left.
Yep.
And so I could see, it's also because the stage is not square to the range, or it's an indoor range. The stage is not square to, hell, there's lines in the concrete that are square to the backstop. So, it's hard to tell like what's the right line or whatever, but basically I argued with him back and forth. I mean, we discussed, I wouldn't say we argued, but I mean, we were discussing, pros and cons, and like he was saying, like I was like, you're not one of those idiots that gets way off balance just so you can have your feet a little bit closer to where you want to go, but your hands are 3 feet to the right and you're super off balance, and then you have to like basically reset, then start moving. He's like, no, unless I can remove all the steps. And I'm like, huh? So then I had sent him photos of like what I would do as a start position most of the time for that sort of start position where your hands are on the wall, like chest high-ish. Okay. So it's basically not quite a wrist above shoulders. It's like wrists or even with nipples sort of start position. And then you still got to bring your hands down to draw. I basically stand with my hands as close to the gun as possible, and then I'll move towards wherever I got to go.
Yeah.
And he was saying, if it eliminates all steps, I'll do the lean, And I'm like, and just words wasn't really spelling it out. And then he actually recorded a video and showed me if he doesn't have to move his feet at all, and he literally just leans back, draws, and then leans to the other side, then he would do it. And I was like, okay, I could see that, but I've never seen that in a match ever.
Right.
Where you can, because it's usually a couple of walls from that fucking mark.
Right. Or because again, we've all done this shit before, and I've done the lean and I've gotten away with it before, but I've also completely fucked my draw and my grip on that draw. So I'm like you, the more experience you get at this, it's that the parabola that's like C-class shooters, like, hey, I got to start at my neutral position because I don't want to fuck this up. Like BA into M's, like, ooh, I can game this and da-da-da-da. And you get like high-level M's and GMs are like, I'm going to get to my neutral, start from my neutral position because that's where I can guarantee my draw. And so that's always my biggest thing. One other thing for Kian, like if I'm reading it correctly and he did not immediately draw his gun and then went to position and then drew gun, it's partially your fault that you got DQ'd for being a bitch. You should have immediately, like, your hip should have been squared to the back berm. And it's as an experience. I know he's not as experienced as we are, but like as you become a more experienced competitor, know where the back berm is, know where the 180 is, and like put your hips on that, get gun out, and then start moving like normal. It's when you try to change the shit that stuff goes wrong,
especially going towards your weak side.
Yeah,
if you're going to your strong side, whatever.
Right.
It's pretty tough to DQ going to your strong side, but if it involves moving to your weak side,
right, eliminate any changes that fuck with your natural. Like we all have we develop a level of spatial awareness and like, okay, my hand is here, which means my gun is here, which means when I'm moving like this, yada, yada, yada. When you fucked with that by being like, okay, I'm going to like move 4 steps to my left with my hand on my gun so that when I get to that position, I draw and do it. And I've done that before. I have. It was stupid. And it didn't help me on the stage. Now I'm always okay, get gun up. Now I'm moving with the gun like I normally do. You don't want to be thinking about what you're doing. You want to be, okay, I'm in my normal space, do the thing within the normal space. So don't be a bitch, draw that gun, then move and do the thing. Don't try to game it by holding onto the gun and moving while you're doing it. But go ahead.
Well, I just like getting the gun out before whatever I'm doing on a draw or whatever gun movement I'm doing, I do it in a way as part of my stage plan to prove to the RO I'm not breaking 180. If it's anything close, if you just go about it like, oh, this will be fine, that's how you get DQ'd.
Yeah.
If you don't set yourself up for very deliberately not doing the thing they're going to DQ you for, like if I'm going back and to the right and there's a target, like say like the stage I was running at Cornhusker last year, the whole thing was uprange. You started way downrange, and pretty much everybody took a few steps forward, and then they worked their way left, and then they ran back, and then back and back. And the last couple targets you're going to shoot are back left around the corner of a wall. I DQ'd a guy there because he got his gun just past the 180 as he's coming around the wall. Well, when I'm going around a wall like that, I make sure like my wrist is flicked off to the side so that there's no way they can say my muzzle was anywhere near the 180. Right. And then once I'm clear of it and I'm well behind that line where I'm getting myself in trouble, then I straighten my wrist out, my hands go back to normal, and then I aim at the target.
Right.
And like there's really good shooters, better shooters than me, who don't do this.
Yeah.
And get themselves in trouble.
Yes. Well, so that yes. Well, that'll be a different topic for another time. Because I was watching an F1 movie. It's a whole thing. But the other side to this, though, is also as a match director and a stage designer, stop being a cunt. Like, make a reasonable start position. So
don't have a start position where every righty is going to risk a DQ.
Yes. The best like.
Do it so that only the lefties are doing it because we're used to it. We can handle it.
Right. Or extra don't be a cunt and make it so no one has to be at risk of it. But like,
does that mean never have an uprange start or a downrange start where you're moving uprange?
Never have a start position on a 45-degree wall.
Yeah, agreed.
And because like we ran into this at Oklahoma, the legendary Miata episode, we had to, I believe the start position was in front of the stomp pad. So you had to go backwards, stomp on the stomp pad and get to a back right position from where you started to engage like a drop turner or like a target you had to shoot immediately. And so you were kind of like, what the fuck do I do here? This feels fucking weird. And like I was in a squad with very high level people, and there were a few times that I did that little kind of squeamish thing that all people who have RO'd do when you're like, that was close. Mm-hmm. But I can't fault anyone because it was such a fucking shitty position that everyone was suffering the same problem. So could this have, like, to completely change this, have the start position, like all you would have had to do is have the start position behind the stomp pad so that I can draw while running forward, stomp, and then go to my back right, and my gun is up where it's supposed to be, where I know where it is, versus, okay, I need to draw, and while drawing, I need to be stepping on the thing and be doing the thing. And you're like, this is cunty. Like, fine. There are ways to make a start position challenging. Like I said, I don't mind a forward start position. I don't even mind a start stick in the middle or yada, yada, yada. I care about when the start I care about when a start position is dumb, and I care about when a start position is dangerous. And what we're discussing is the dangerous ones. The dumb ones are okay, you have 2 mags on that barrel, but they only have 3 rounds each. And then there's a mag over there with like 7 rounds, and you've got 12 targets. Go. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
this is stupid. So again, I will maintain that Kean's a bitch and should have drawn like a man and got moving. But that start position was fucking god awful, and that no one at this club was like, and someone may have said something and the other person was like, no, that's how we're doing it. the club culture should be that, hey, everyone, this is dumb. We should fix it. If I was at that club, I would have kicked that wall. 110% would have kicked it to make it, because nothing changes if the wall is perpendicular to the berm.
No.
Parallel with the berm.
If you just take the right leg of that wall, bring it back so that it's parallel to the back berm.
Yeah. Then nothing changes in the stage, and everyone is relatively safe within. And so, yes, it is on the shooter to do the right shit, but it is also on the match director and the stage designer / builders to be like, hey, isn't this kind of risky here? So that's kind of my stance on it. Don't be a bitch.
Hato Dagu commented on my my Reddit photo of the 10mm debacle, and he has admitted, like, he's loaded with autism. 5 visible holes, white paster as point of aim. I'm going to guess 6 to 10 before you realize you have a buckshot pattern going on. 11. I was going to shoot the whole mag, and after I shot the 11th one, I'm just like, I've had enough, because I just got Talon grips for my 3 Glocks.
When the punishment's enough.
Okay, I got those cheap $15 LOK grips or lock grip knockoffs off Amazon for my 1911. Because we shot that today too. We're up to 72 rounds fired through the who the hell makes that? The TSOS 1911 M19A1.
Sounds like it's ready to go on.
Flawless.
It's time to go on cops' belts. It's
Flawless.
a duty pistol.
After 72 rounds.
Almost 100 rounds. Boom.
Mm-hmm. I shot 8, and my son shot 16. And those grips are so ungodly. They're like the bogey grips, basically. And they were super cheap. They were painful. Like, by the time I fired the 8th round, I'm like, this sucks bad. I'm not shooting this gun anymore. And he had enough of it after 2 mags. So, which I know that's 24 rounds. That was his estimate, that there was like 28 left. So there's probably 26 left. So we've probably fired 74 rounds through that gun. It's good to go. Get yourself a TSOS 1911. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've done enough damage for this episode. We've got another one to do on a short week and another short week next week. So on that note, thank you so much for listening, everybody. Welcome back, Jeff. We missed you.
Thank you.
Even though I had a lot of fun with Alex and Steven, sort of.
Also, thank you, Alex, and fuck you, Steven, but also thank you.
Yeah. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.